So when it comes to cutting accessories, a lot of people think Diablo, right? Because Diablo name is almost synonymous with best performance or fastest cutting or longevity or whatever you want to call it. A lot of people say Diablo is the best. But is that true with oscillating multi-tool blades? All right, so what we're going to test today, continuing in our series with best oscillating multi-tool blades, are going to be the Diablo oscillating multi-tool blades with carbide teeth and Black I.C.E coating. Okay, so we're going to take these blades and put it to our test, our normal standard track. We're going to cut 10 nails, then we're going to cut 10 drywall screws, and then we're going to cut 10 structural screws, assuming it makes it that far. Okay, then we're going to see how it compares to all the other blades we've tested so far. So you don't want to miss this if you want to see how well they do and if they are really worth the hype and your money. So stick with us. So this right here is a Diablo general purpose Black I.C.E coated carbide tooth multi-material oscillating blade. This blade model number is DOU125CGP, and the special thing about this is pretty much it's got carbide teeth and Black I.C.E coating. This Diablo blade is made in Switzerland, and it's got other etchings on here like depth of guide, and you know, it's got curved contact edge, because obviously, you know, as you cut, you are, you know, cutting like this. So that's interesting as itself. Anyways, it's got the open lock design here, kind of helps you fit most, or helps this blade work on most oscillating multi-tools. On the back here, you got really nothing special going in on here. If you look really closely at an angle, you can kind of see there's like 5 like, you know, spot weld points here. There's some blades I think we've seen only had like 3 spot weld points, but you know, just want to point out there's 5 there on this one. But nothing too special, right? Because you know, with Diablo, you really get the name of, you know, you get the coating, and then you get really sharp teeth. So speaking of teeth here, let's look at the teeth. As you can see right here, teeth are not very pronounced, and this blade is absolutely new. So, you know, that's pretty much how pronounced the teeth are. But as we know with most tools and things, it's not only just how pronounced the teeth are, but how long they stay sharp at, you know, whatever their depth is, right? So hopefully this will work out. So that's what's going on here. Let's talk about the marketing here. So this right here is obviously universal fit, but it will not work with Starlock blades. This is a 1 1/4 inch width, 1 1/2 inch depth. And because it's carbide, you know, they kind of call it general purpose, but you can cut pretty much almost anything. You got a wood embedded, nail embedded wood, plastic, metal, all kinds of fun stuff, right? And as I say, this one is made in Switzerland, and this carbide teeth lasts up to 50 times longer life than, you know, all the other competitors. So we're gonna have to put that to the test. All right, so let's talk about price here real quick. So I've seen these blades priced anywhere in the store for one blade for $20, and also, you know, like this pack here you can get every once in a while for, you know, 2 pack for like $20, right? And if you've been following the channel, there's been a couple times, and maybe once or twice I've posted, you can get pretty much this set, which is 2 blades for $9, $8.97 or whatever it is, right? So let's say 10 bucks. So you can get either 1 blade for $5 or 1 blade for 20 bucks, and they're exactly the same blade. So we're just gonna meet in the middle somewhere and say, I don't know, let's say each blade is an average of 10 bucks, okay? It seems to be pretty fair. You know, hopefully you are getting these on a good deal whenever you are getting them. But what's really important is how they perform. So let's go find out. All right, so let's go take a look at the damage done to this blade here. So as you can see here, you know, this blade, it's got a little bit of just a little bit of wear on, you know, some of this coating, but, you know, since we are making all the cutting here, not too much wear on the coating itself, okay? So as you look here, I'm not sure how well it's going to come out here, but you can see some of the teeth are actually missing. They've just sheared or shattered off here. As you can see right here, if you look at it, teeth are just gone, but it was still able to make its way through all the material. On the back, really nothing too special you can see there, but you get a better look at the condition of the teeth on this blade here. So if you want to compare it to a brand new blade, right, this is what the teeth look like versus what the teeth should look like. That's probably not the best comparison. Let's look at it this way. This is what the teeth look like versus what they should look like. So as you can see, it's got, you know, pretty much its share of damage, but as you would imagine, you are cutting through some structural screws and drywall screws. You know, obviously the nails are pretty soft, but you know, it still is damaged. So let's go take a look at the numbers. So let's go take a look at the numbers, all right? The Diablo General Purpose Carbide Tooth DOU125CGP blade cut through the 10 16D framing nails just fine. All 10 of them were cut pretty much easily in about 15.72 seconds, okay? Then it moved on to the drywall screws and it cut 10 drywall screws in 78.42 seconds. And then it moved on to the structural screws. It took 86.17 seconds to cut 10 structural screws, completing, you know, the test track, which is about 30 fasteners cut in a total time of 180.31 seconds, all right? This blade, as we covered earlier, is Swiss made. So with those impressive numbers, let's go take a look at where it stands on the leaderboard. All right, so with the 30 fasteners cut in 180 seconds, it pretty much puts this blade, bam, at the top. It's number one on the leaderboard, as you would expect from someone like Diablo, right? So it's right above the DeWalt Wood with Nails DWA4250, which is also a carbide tipped blade, which cost roughly around $25 depending on what kind of configuration that you pick these up in. All right, so we covered that blade in obviously episode 2, but let's go take a look at the leaderboard and see some of the numbers. All right, so the Diablo Gen Purpose Carbide Tooth blade, it cut the 16D framing nails in about 15.72 seconds. So it is not the fastest, because obviously the fastest one was actually the Harbor Freight Bauer blade, which was about 9.82 seconds. But 15.72 seconds is respectable, considering, you know, it's I would say in the top 3 or top 4, right? Because of the fastest on the nail cutting, right? But if you're cutting, if you don't only want to look for fastest, you want to look for longevity, or if you want to cut harder fasteners, let's go look at the drywall screws, because if you're doing some type of remodeling, you're probably going to run into drywall screws, all right? So the 10 drywall screws were cut in 78.42 seconds, which is probably not the fastest, actually, if you look at it. The Hercules Demolition HA211-8 carbide tooth blade from Harbor Freight also cut 10 drywall screws in 78.38 seconds, okay? The DeWalt cut it in 73.53 seconds, but, you know, it's all around the 70-something. The Dremel actually did get it cut in about 144, but, you know, that's a lot longer than all of the other ones we talked about. So let's go look at the structural screws, because that's what really separates some of the winners here. So the structural screws, only the DeWalt and the Diablo were able to cut all 10 structural screws. The structural screws that we're cutting are GRK R4 screws, and the DeWalt blade actually got it cut in 96 seconds, whereas the Diablo blade got it cut in 86 seconds, okay? The Hercules blade cut about 4, and then none of the other blades we've tested so far in this series were able to even get to this section or even cut through one of them, okay? So what can we say about this blade, all right? So it looks like, you know, as you would expect, the Diablo blade does live up to the name, okay? Is it worth the hype, or is it worth the money, or would I buy it again? The answer is definitely yes, okay? Especially if you've been following the channel, you know I posted not too long ago, you can pick up the 2-pack of these for $8.97 shipped to your door. You know, if you missed that deal, then, you know, I don't know what to tell you, but if it ever comes up again, we'll let you know. But at that price, and each one of these blades costing about $4.50 a blade, and being the best overlasting blade overall, you're getting that Diablo reputation and Diablo performance for about $4.50. You should definitely buy that again, okay? The reason I'm leaving it here for $10 on the leaderboard is mainly because you're not always going to find it at that price, but you may find it at at 2 for 10, or you may find it at 1 for 20 or 2 for 20 or whatever. I don't know, right? So we're just going to average out and say about 10 bucks on average. So it is currently the best oscillating multi-tool blade we've tested so far. And this blade is Swiss made, and most important of all is availability. And these Diablo blades you can obviously buy online at several different retailers, and you can also just walk into the store, your big box orange store, and pick them up. So now it's a good time for me to say this video is not sponsored. Nobody sent this to us. We actually pay for all of these with their own money. So hopefully, that helps the data, you can trust me with the data. Anyways, like I said, all the stuff has been tested roughly the same way, and we can say we would definitely highly recommend buying these blades, all right? So, hope this video helped you guys out. If you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, have a great day, and we'll see you guys next time.